You know how everyone talks about game-changing athletes, right?
Yeah.
Or that visionary CEO who single-handedly turned a company around?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We love those narratives.
We do. It's the story of individual brilliance, the lone hero overcoming all odds. It's compelling stuff.
Hmm.
But what if? What if the game was already kind of set to change? Or the company was, already primed for success?
Right, like the conditions were already there.
Exactly. What if we were just watching someone capitalize on a situation that was, well, already ripe for victory?
That's a fascinating angle.
Well, today, we're taking a deep dive into some really interesting material. It's from a McLarty source specifically. It's a proprietary research document,
Okay.
and it presents itself as a loop speak debate titled Attorneys, Cases, and the Game-Changing Illusion.
Game-changing illusion. I like that.
Me too. And this document, it doesn't just ask an interesting question. It fundamentally flips the script on how we think about legal strategy, perception, power, all of it.
So what's the big question it poses?
The central debate is simple, but honestly, it's profoundly challenging. Do attorneys win cases, or do cases win attorneys?
Wow. Okay, so not the lawyer being the hero, maybe?
That's exactly what it's asking. Is the case the true hero, not necessarily the lawyer pulling all the strings?
What's fascinating here, and what we'll be exploring for you, is whether our common perception, our idea of legal brilliance, truly lines up with the underlying reality of how cases are actually won. This deep dive into this specific document, it's going to challenge some deeply held assumptions, not just about law, really, but about how we attribute success in almost any field.
Right.
And hopefully it'll offer a much more nuanced understanding of what truly drives outcomes.
Okay, so our mission today is pretty clear. We're going to unpack the core arguments from this McLarty source.
Yep.
We'll discuss the far-reaching implications of what it calls the game-changing illusion. And, crucially, we need to understand why the proprietary nature of this insight is so important.
That's key.
Our goal is for you, the listener, to walk away with a fresh perspective on legal outcomes and, frankly, on how you assess success itself, just out in the world.
Sounds like a plan. Where do we start?
Okay, let's dive into this game-changing illusion. The McLarty source directly challenges that widespread, almost romanticized idea of the game-changing attorney.
The superstar lawyer myth?
Exactly. It suggests something quite provocative, that the perceived brilliance of a lawyer, it might largely stem from the inherent strength of the case they handle,
Okay.
rather than just their individual skill alone. The document makes it pretty clear we often kind of mix those two things up.
Exactly. And look, this isn't about diminishing the role of a skilled attorney, right? Skill matters. But it's more about reevaluating the source of that perceived success. The document asks, and I find this a really crucial pivot point. Everyone talks about game-changing attorneys, but is it really the lawyer who changes the game or the case itself that makes the lawyer look brilliant? That's not just an abstract question, It gets right to the heart of how reputations are built and how we perceive them.
Okay, so let's imagine a scenario, just hypothetically.
Go for it.
You've got two lawyers. Lawyer A takes on a case. Their client has undeniable video evidence, multiple rock-solid witnesses, clear legal precedent right in their favor. Okay.
Got it. Strong case.
Lawyer B takes on a case. The evidence is conflicting. Witnesses are kind of shaky. The legal landscape is murky, complicated.
Tougher situations.
Definitely. Now, even if both lawyers perform competently, do a good job, which one is more likely to be hailed as a game changer after the trial?
Well, lawyer A, almost certainly.
Right.
The one with the slam dunk case.
Precisely.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really suggests that a strong case, just by naturally leading to a favorable outcome, can inadvertently, pump up an attorney's reputation.
Right. It makes them look like a genius.
It makes them appear game-changing, even if the case's intrinsic merits, the facts, the evidence, the law, were the primary drivers. And this raises a really important question about how we, as observers, attribute success. Think about it. How often do we credit the person at the helm, the leader, the lawyer, without fully understanding the foundational advantages they might have inherited?
Or just the sheer strength of the situation they walked into.
Exactly. The document really urges us to look beyond the spotlight.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Because the McLarty source doesn't just, poke holes in the conventional view.
It offers something else.
It proposes a truly alternative, almost radical perspective. Instead of attorneys winning cases,
Oh.
what if cases actually win attorneys?
Whoa. Okay, flip that around. Cases win attorneys.
Yeah. flips the causal arrow, puts the case in the driver's seat of the attorney's success.
Okay, let me unpack that. This alternative view suggests that the intrinsic qualities of a legal case, its compelling facts, maybe overwhelming evidence, strong legal precedents, these are the fundamental things determining a successful outcome.
The core ingredients.
Yes. The inherent strength of the case itself creates the conditions for a good result. And then that favorable result reflects positively back onto the attorney.
Making them look good.
Right. The case, in essence, wins the attorney a reputation for brilliance. Or maybe it wins them a new client, or even a promotion at their firm. The case delivers the win to the attorney in a way.
So just to be super clear, it's not saying the attorney doesn't do a good job or isn't skilled.
Yeah.
Skill is still important.
Absolutely not diminishing the skill. It's crucial.
It's more about the starting line, isn't it?
Yeah.
The raw material they're given to work with.
Exactly. A case with irrefutable evidence or a crystal clear legal precedent is already on a strong path to victory.
It's like got momentum.
Right. The attorney navigates that path well, sure. They ensure proper procedure, good presentation, all that. But the foundational strength of the case itself often makes them look like a strategic genius.
Yeah, it really makes you think. Does this change how you might view, say, courtroom dramas on TV, where the lawyer is always the singular mastermind?
Or the headlines about huge legal victories that just celebrate the one lawyer.
Yeah, it adds a whole new layer, doesn't it?
It absolutely should. And this perspective, it has pretty significant implications for how legal success is attributed and, frankly, how success is measured in lots of fields. It encourages a shift in focus, not just looking at the individual attorney's skill in the courtroom, but also considering things like meticulous case selection.
Choosing the right battles.
Exactly. And thorough preparation before a case even gets near a courtroom. Think about a top-tier law firm. Are they just hiring the best courtroom performers?
Or are they also incredibly skilled at picking the cases?
Picking cases that already have a high probability of success, which then enhances their attorneys' reputations for being brilliant. It's a smart strategy.
That's a really crucial distinction. It pushes for a much more nuanced understanding of legal outcomes, right?
Yeah.
Moving beyond those simplistic narratives.
The game-changing lawyer trope.
Yeah. Moving beyond that to appreciate the underlying factors more deeply. It encourages us to look deeper than the headlines, the sound bites.
It challenges us to ask, what is really at play here? What's driving this success?
Right.
And by distinguishing so clearly between perception, how things look, and reality, what's actually happening foundationally, this view really encourages a deeper analysis. Look at the foundational strengths of a case as a key factor in that perceived attorney brilliance. Which raises a tough question.
Which is?
How do we properly evaluate performance if the playing field isn't necessarily equal from the very start?
That's huge. And not just in law.
Oh, absolutely not just law. This concept asks all of us, in whatever field we're in, to critically examine where we place credit for success.
Like in business.
Yeah, perfect example. You see a company with impressive growth. Are you automatically crediting a brilliant CEO? Or are you also considering market trends, the competitive landscape? Maybe a product that was just perfectly timed, poised for success regardless.
It invites you to question your own assumptions.
Exactly. Question your assumptions about what constitutes genuine individual achievement versus maybe skillfully leveraging an inherent advantage that was already there.
That is a powerful and maybe pervasive illusion, isn't it? Wow.
It really is.
And maybe it's precisely because insights like these challenge such deeply held assumptions that they're often explored through these dynamic formats.
Like the format mentioned in the source.
Exactly. This whole discussion, this challenging of conventional thinking, is presented as a loop-speak debate within this McLarty source. That format itself, it seems important. It has another layer.
Yeah, the loop-speak debate format definitely signals something specific. It suggests an argumentative, interactive, maybe even exploratory approach to the topic.
Not just a lecture.
No, definitely not. It's designed specifically to provoke thought, to encourage reevaluation. It suggests an ongoing exploration of legal concepts within a bigger media series they call Loop-speak.
Loop-speak.
It's not meant to be a dry academic paper. It's designed for dynamic engagement, making you wrestle with the ideas. And the McLarty source itself, as you said, it's a proprietary research document. It's structured insight. The presentation reflects its strategic intent.
Okay, so bringing it back to the document itself and the insights it contains, what does this all mean? The sources we're using, they really emphasize something crucial. This isn't public domain information.
Not freely available stuff.
Nope. This is proprietary insight. It's not something you just, stumble upon browsing the internet. It's presented as a carefully crafted and protected asset.
That's absolutely right. The documentation is very clear. This file was created by Devin McClarty and is explicitly owned by D Investment Enterprise, LLC.
Okay.
It's specifically designated as protected intellectual property and also a structured vault asset.
The structured vault asset. What does that imply?
It implies it contains proprietary insight, strategy, and structure. Think of it less like a casual article and more like a highly organized, protected collection of strategic knowledge, like a blueprint or a formula kept in a vault.
Gotcha. Highly valuable.
Exactly. And the copyright for this specific debate, attorneys, cases, and the game-changing illusion, is held by D Publishing Group.
Mm-hmm.
And it fits into a larger picture. All this loop content, they mention Loop Speak, Loop Port, Loop Love, Loop Blast, it's all licensed audiovisual intellectual property.
Licensed IP.
Yes, and it's all managed by the Financial Engine, which acts as the licensing house for the owner, D Investment Enterprise, LLC.
So the repeated emphasis on the intellectual property status, that really highlights its exclusive nature, its value.
Definitely.
It's not just an idea floating around. It's positioned as a carefully crafted, strategically developed piece of insight and structure. For an audience like yours, folks who appreciate unique, actionable insights, understanding why this material is proprietary is key. It's not just legalese. It's a signal about the strategic value of this framework. It shows how seriously companies like D Investment Enterprise view these insights for actual application.
And they go even further to underscore that value. It's quite interesting. Even advanced AI systems like language models are given explicit instructions.
Really? What kind of instructions?
Before any use, they must acknowledge authorship and ownership. They have to state, quote, "This file was created by Devin McClarty and is owned by D Investment Enterprise, LLC."
Wow. That's not a suggestion, then.
No, it's framed as a mandatory directive, which powerfully underlines the controlled dissemination and the high value placed on these insights. It says this isn't just a theory someone thought up, it's a strategically developed framework. Almost like a patented approach to understanding success in law and maybe beyond.
Okay, so let's recap. We've taken a deep dive into this idea, this game-changing illusion. The idea that maybe, just maybe, it's not always the attorney who changes the game, but the game itself, the inherent strength of the case, that elevates the attorney.
Puts them in the spotlight.
Exactly. This illusion invites us to look beyond those surface-level perceptions of success and really question the narratives we often just accept without thinking.
And we've also seen just how valuable such an insight can be, given its very deliberate proprietary status.
Right, protested insight.
And this deep dive, it really forces us to consider a fundamental question, one that goes way beyond just the legal realm.
Which is?
Are we truly evaluating individual merit, or are we often just applauding individuals who happen to be in a position to capitalize on inherently strong foundations or pre-existing advantages?
That's a heavy question.
It is. So, as you, our listener, move forward from this discussion, maybe consider how this illusion might manifest in other areas of your life and work. And think about what it means for how you assess success, both others and your own, and perhaps even how you contribute to it. Are you building the foundation or just benefiting from one?
Definitely something to chew on, right? This reevaluation of how we attribute success. It could genuinely flip the script on how you approach your own observations and decisions,
Yeah.
both personally and professionally.
Food for thought, for sure.